Okay, let's talk about the hidden work of masking. We're going to begin with something many neurotypical wives never see, which is the amount of cognitive effort required for autistic adults to navigate social expectations. Now, for many neurotypical people, social behavior is largely automatic. Eye contact, tone of voice, facial expressions, knowing when to ask follow-up questions, reading emotional shifts in the partner. These processes happen largely outside conscious awareness. But for autistic adults, these behaviors require active neurological management. Instead of running automatically, the autistic brain must manually calculate them. Imagine driving a car where every movement required conscious attention. You need to think about your foot on the pedal, checking the mirror, turning the wheel, maintaining your lane. Now imagine doing that same thing for hours every day. That's similar to what autistic people experience when they mask. Masking means intentionally performing neurotypical behaviors to reduce social friction. For example, forcing eye contact, suppressing stimming behaviors, monitoring tone of voice, rehearsing conversational responses, remembering emotional scripts, carefully analyzing facial expressions. This work is heavily managed by the prefrontal cortex, which is the brain region responsible for executive control and behavioral regulation. And the prefrontal cortex has limited endurance. It can compensate for neurological differences, but not for very long. Now let's talk about why money is not just money. In most relationships, money carries emotional meaning. But in neurodiverse relationships, money often carries neurological meaning. For many people on the autism spectrum, financial decisions are processed through several systems simultaneously: executive function, threat detection, cognitive predictability, sensory load. And that combination changes the experience of spending. To the neurotypical spouse, a gift often means, "Hey, I thought of you." To the autistic spouse, that same event may register as an unexpected variable has just entered the system. And when the brain detects unpredictability, it often shifts into protective mode. That protection can look like this: resistance to spending, rigid budgeting rules, discomfort with gifts, anxiety about waste, emotional shutdown during financial conversations. That's not about selfishness. It's about maintaining neurological stability. For most neurodiverse couples, conventional marriage counseling doesn't just fail. It can actually make the relationship worse. Not because the couple isn't trying, not because there isn't love, but because traditional counseling models were never designed for neurodiverse nervous systems. The "I feel" statements and love languages, you might as well speak Russian. Have you ever experienced a relationship that started with intense attention, deep conversation, and almost magnetic focus, only to feel like something shifted months later? Now, in neurodiverse relationships, especially when one person is autistic, this pattern can be confusing and even painful. At the beginning, the connection can feel extraordinary. The autistic partner may message constantly, want to spend long hours together, ask endless questions, and show a level of fascination that feels incredibly validating. Many neurotypical partners describe the experience this way: "Man, in the early going, I felt like the most interesting person in the world." But then something happens. The intensity softens, the constant messages slow down, the emotional energy changes, and the question starts forming in the neurotypical partner's mind: was that really love or just a temporary hyperfocus? Well, maybe you've experienced moments like this where, you're clearly upset, but he just simply doesn't notice. Or maybe you try to explain how something hurt and he responds logically instead of emotionally. Maybe you're hoping for some moral comfort in your weak moments, and instead you get silence or problem solving from him. And in those moments, it can feel incredibly painful because it's not like he sees you're upset and chooses not to do anything about it. He doesn't see it to begin with. So it can feel like the person who should understand you the most is somehow missing the very thing that matters to you most. If you are a neurotypical wife in a marriage with an ASD level 1 husband, and you feel like you're suffering from Cassandra syndrome, then there's going to be a link below this video in the description area and also pinned in the comment section that will take you to my Cassandra syndrome recovery group. We meet 1 hour a week for 4 weeks. I hope to see you in that group.